Welcome back to computer science class. In this session, we discuss one-dimensional array example programs. For that, consider a lab program to find sum and average of n numbers. Sum and average of n numbers. Here we use a concept one-dimensional array. What is array? Here array is a homogeneous collection of elements. All elements share the same name and same data type, that is we call it as homogeneous. Then if it is a one-dimensional means array have one index value. Array have only one subscript or one index value, then we call it as one-dimensional array. See the problem statement. Find sum and average of n numbers. We not know the number of elements. It is read at the time of program execution. So n number of elements. Hence we go for array. Array is a collection of elements. Let A is an array have n number of elements. Then arrays always follows zero based indexing. What is zero based? So it is start from 0 to n minus 1. Hence the array follows always zero based indexing. Then the data type of an index or subscript is always positive integer number. Let's see how to find sum and average of n numbers if it is an array. Here we read the numbers 5, 10, 15, 20, so on. N number of elements. First we have to find the sum. Before going to find the average, first we have to find the sum of n given n number of elements. How to find the sum? For that we assign the variable sum equals 0. Here sum is a temporary variable. It is a dummy variable or temporary variable. Then at the same time you have to add the array elements. How to add? That is sum equals sum plus a of I. Just recall the program sum of digits of a number. In a sum of digits of a number, we write the expression sum equals sum plus digit. Or you remember the program sum of digit of a number? In that we write the equation sum equals sum plus digit, where digit is the remainder. Similarly, here also we use the same expression sum equals sum plus a of I. Here a of I represents the array elements. Then I is varies from index value. I is varies from 0 to less than n. I is incremented every time. See this statement. In an array, all elements share the same name but differ in only index values. Index values are different. So in a for loop, we represent the index value. It is start from 0 because array follows 0 based indexing. Up to n minus 1 we have to access all the element one by one. How it is one by one? I plus plus. Here plus plus is a increment operator. It increments every time by 1. So that is the meaning of plus plus. It is a unary increment operator. I starts with 0, I less than n, every time I is incremented. In an equation sum equals sum plus a of I, name of the array must be same but I value is incremented in every iteration. What is iteration? Repetition. The set of statements are repeatedly execute until certain condition is satisfied. Here first a of I value is 0, a of 0, then a of 1, then a of 2, after that a of 3, after that a of 4, so on up to it can access a of n minus 1 element, because the condition is I less than n, not equal. It is I less than 1. Up to n minus 1 it can access all the elements. Using this expression we have to find the sum of n numbers. Then the variable sum holds the sum of n numbers. Using variable sum then already we know the number of elements. This expression returns the average. Sum by number of elements. This expression returns the average of n given n numbers. Then finally print sum and average. That is our problem statement, to find sum and average of n numbers. What is the process here? Just observe. First we have to read the number of elements. After that we have to read array elements. First we have to read how many numbers you want. Based on the number of elements we have to read the array elements. After that access each element from array. At the same time, that is added to the temporary variable sum. Initial value of the sum is 0. First it adds like this: 0 plus 5, then it adds 5 plus 10, then it adds 15 plus 20, then it adds 35 plus next element, so on. Because here 5 is in A of 0 position, 10 is in A of 1 position, next A of 2, next one is A of 3. Like this we have to add the numbers. Initially some value is 0, that is assigned to the variable sum. This value is used here, then it returns 15. This value used here, then it returns 35, then this value is used here, so on. So that is the expression sum equals sum plus A of I. Say I represents the index value, A is the name of the array, A of I represents the element of an given array. See the difference? These are the I, then A of I represents the element. So this is the A of I value. Like this we have to access all the elements of an array. Then when the for loop is terminates, if you access all the elements, then for loop terminates. After that we have to find the average. Already we find the sum using sum and number of elements, find the average of an array, finally display sum and average. So that is the problem. Let's see how to write a C++ program. iostream.h. These two are the commonly used preprocessor statements. conio.h. After that main of the program. Main is always void. The meaning of the void is means do not return anything. Then declare a local variables. Here we declare an array under integer type A of 20. The maximum size of an array is 20. Number of elements n, index value I, temporary variable sum. These are under integer. Under float, declare a variable average. Average is floating value, have a decimal pointer, hence variable declared under float. After that CLR SCCR to clear a screen. Then read the number of elements. For that insert a output statement. How many elements? Then read C in extraction n. For output use insertion operator. For input purpose use extraction operator. After reading the number of elements, read the array element. For that insert a message, enter a array elements. Enter a array elements ENDL. To read the array we use for I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus, C in extraction A of I. This logic is discussed in the previous video, how to read and print the array elements. To read the array elements we need for loop, because it is a homogeneous collection of elements. It is a collection of homogeneous elements. All elements share the same name, but only differ in the index value. To generate a index value, here we use for loop from 0 to less than n, not equal, less than or equal, only less than n. After reading the array elements, initialize the variable sum equals 0. Initialize the variable sum equals 0. Then again access the element one by one. For I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Inside that sum equals sum plus a of I value. So access one by one element, at the same time add to the temporary variable sum. When for loop terminates, see here, when for loop terminates, find the average. But here average is under float, sum is under integer, hence we have to explicitly change the data type. Float of sum, it is a typecasting, explicit typecasting, already discussed in a previous chapter. There is a two types of casting, one is implicit casting, another one is explicit casting. This is a explicit casting. At the time of execution, we have to change the data type of a variable. Then the new data type is represented inside the parentheses. Then the data type of a sum is changed to float, divided by n. Why it is? Because both sum and n are integer type. Integer division always returns integer value, but average is a float. Average of a number is a floating value. So we have to change either the data type of a sum or data type of an n, either any one. Then float divided by integer returns floating value, or integer divided by float also returns floating value. Hence we have to change the data type of any one, either sum or n. Then already we know the sum and average, then just output the sum and average. See out, sum is variable sum, output average is AVG. Get CH, close the main program. It is a lab program, mark it as lab program. Okay, so to find sum and average of n numbers, what we do here? First we read the number of elements using a variable n. After we read the array elements one by one. So this logic generates a sequence. Using this logic we read array elements. Once we read a array element, initialize the initial value of sum, that is equal to 0. Then again access the array element one by one. The for loop access the array element one by one, at the same time added to the temporary variable sum. So we have to access all the elements, at the same time we have to add all the elements. If you access all the elements, terminate the for loop, then find the average. The variable sum holds the sum of n numbers. Then we know the number of elements present in the array. Using sum and n, find the average. Then finally display sum and average. So it is a simple program using one-dimensional array. Let's consider one more program, that is program to find largest and second largest among n numbers. Find largest and second largest among n numbers. Again here also there is a n numbers, hence we go for array. How to find? Again consider the array A have n number of elements, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the index values. There is a 5 elements. See here 10, 5, 12, 15, then 0. So these are the elements present in the array. The problem definition is we have to find largest and second largest among n numbers. We have to find largest and second largest. How to find? For that we declare a two variables, largest and second largest. We have to declare two variables, one is largest, another one is second largest. Consider first two numbers. Consider first two numbers. First two numbers are a of 0 greater than a of 1. Consider the two numbers and compare if a of 0 is greater than a of 1. A of 0 means that is the 10 is greater than 5. 10 is greater than 5. First consider only two numbers. If this condition is true, largest is the 10, second largest is the 5. That is a of 0 is the largest number, a of 1 is the second largest number. If this condition is false, a of 1 is the largest, a of 0 element is the second largest. What we done here? Consider two numbers. First compare those two numbers. Select which one is biggest. If the a of 0 element is greater than a of 1, this one is the biggest. If it is false, second one is the biggest element. Choose biggest and second biggest among these two numbers. After that we have to access next element. Here next element means we have to access the third element. Index value is 2. Third element index value is 2. We have to access third element. Then this third element is compared with the largest element. Compared with the largest element. If the third element is greater than the largest element, then assign the largest element to the second largest element, then new element is the largest element. What we done here? We have to compare if a of I value is greater than largest. A of I value is greater than largest, then we have to assign second largest which is equal to largest. Then largest equals a of I value. Here I value start from 2 to I less than n. It start from 2 to I less than n, I plus plus. See here what we done here. We have to access the third element. See the index value 2. It start from index value 2. Access this element. That element is compared with the largest element. Largest element is 10. If it is true, then assign largest element to the second largest element, then new element to the largest element. That is the logic. Else, if compare a of I is greater than second largest. If it is greater than second largest, second largest, then directly assign second largest equals a of I. So like this we have to access all the rest of the element. Finally print largest and second largest. See here what we done. First we have to access the a of I element. This element, this is compared with, here it is 20, here it is 5 initially. A of I value is 12 is greater than 10. A of 12 is greater than 10. So condition is true. If condition is true means succeeding statement is executed in a if else. In a if else, the succeeding statement is executed. What is this? Largest equals SL. Okay, we have to assign the value of largest to SL. It is a assignment operator. So largest value is 10. That is assigned to second largest. Then largest equals A of I. Largest value is 12. Then this statement is not executed. So then access the next element. Next element is 15. So here next element is 15 is greater than 12. What is the value present in the largest? 12. Again condition is true. Condition is true. Enter to the if statement. here largest value is assigned to second largest value is 12, it is assigned to second largest, then largest equals a of I. What is the value of a of I? 15. Okay, then if it is executed, else part is not executed. Next we have to access the next element 0, a of I value is 0, 0 greater than 12, condition false. Again we have to verify the else part. Here 0 greater than 12. So largest element here it is 15, then else part second largest is 12, 0 greater than 12, condition again false. We have to access all the elements, finally print largest and second largest. Here largest element is 15, second largest is 12. Okay, this is the programming logic. So I explain once again, it is an important program, so I explain once again. A is a array, have n number of elements, that elements are 20, 10, 5, 15, 45. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. There is a 4 elements. The program logic is, first we have to compare a of 0. A of 0 is greater than a of 1. What is a of 0? First element, compare it to the second element. If it is true, largest equals a of 0, second largest equals a of 1. Then else, if it is false, largest equals a of 1, then second largest equals a of 0. Out of these two numbers, we have to select largest and second largest. That is the first process. So we have to choose biggest and second biggest among these two numbers. Remaining are the rest of the elements. To access remaining elements, the index value start from 2. Already we take a decision over two numbers 0 and 1. Hence we have to access the element from third element. The index value of the third is 2. So index value start from 2 to less than n, access 1 by 1. I plus plus. Then if compare, if largest is, or you have to access the element a of I value is greater than largest. We thought that, so first element is the biggest, second element is the second largest, but we have to access third element. If this condition is true, a of I is greater than largest, then second largest equals largest, then for the largest you have to access the new element, else compare a of I with second largest. SS stand for second largest. If it is true, second largest equals a new element, that is the a of I. So this is the programming logic. Trace the program. In this example, 0 greater than 1. 0 greater than, okay, index values are 20, 10. A of 0 20, a of 1 is 10, 20 is greater than 10. So last, second largest and largest, these are the variables. 20 is greater than 10, condition is true, largest equals a of 0, 20 is the largest, second largest equals a of 1, 10 is the second largest. This portion is not executed for this example. Next, we start the execution from third element. We have to access the element 5, a of I value is 5, is greater than, largest is 20. 5 is greater than 20, condition false. Then we have to verify 5 is greater than 10. Here also condition false. If the condition is false, again I value is incremented, it accesses the next element, that is 15. 15 is greater than 20. Again condition is false. Again here we verify 15 is greater than 10. Condition is true. If it is true, for the second largest we have to assign the new value. So for the second value we have to assign the new value, that is 15. Next, access the next element is 45. Here it is 45 greater than 20. 45 is greater than 20, condition is true. If it is true, for the second largest we have to assign the largest value, so 20 here. For the largest we have to assign the new value 45 here. Then there is a else part, so this portion is not executed. Then access the next element, there is no more elements in the array, so largest element is the 45, second largest is the 20. So this is the programming logic. So let us write a program for finding the largest and second largest. First write the input statement. Variables are array. First declare a array, data type, array name, size. Then n number of elements, index value I, largest variables. These are the variables. Then SL stand for second largest, largest and second largest. After that CLR, SCR to clear a screen. First read the number of elements. How many elements? It is a string, must be present in a double quotation, then followed by E and L. Read the elements, C in extraction N, then output, enter array elements, enter array elements. Move on to the next line. To read the array elements, use the for loop, I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus, C in extraction array of index value. Every statements must be ended with a semicolon. Say for loop is not a complete statement, do not terminate the iterative statements, then do not terminate the conditional statements. So only complete statements are terminated. After reading the value, after reading the array elements, let us insert a logic. See, logic is first compare if a of 0 element is greater than a of 1 element. Okay, this is comparison of first two elements, 0th position element and 1st position element. If it is true, largest equals a of 0, second largest equals a of 1. First largest and second largest. If this condition is false, else largest equals a of 1, second largest equals a of 0. Take addition over first two elements, which one is biggest, by comparing first two elements. After taking addition over first two elements, you have to access the third element. How to access? I equals 3, I less than, okay, I equals 2, I less than n, I plus plus. We have to access the third element, the index value is 2. Then compare if a of I value is greater than largest. First we take, if first two numbers, among first two numbers are anyone is largest, here compare the third element with the largest element. If it is true, our assumption is wrong, hence modify second largest equals largest, second largest equals largest, then largest equals new element, that is E of I. Close the if. Then else if This condition is false. Again insert one more condition, that is new element is greater than second largest. If the new element is greater than second largest, then directly assign second largest equals new element. Then close the for loop. Okay, see here what we done. So out of two numbers we take a decision which one is the largest and which one is the second largest. Then we access the third element. Then third element is compared with the largest element. If it is true, largest element is assigned to the second largest. For the largest element we have to assign the new element. Then if the condition is false, we compare the new element with second largest. If it is true, directly assign the new element to the second largest. Finally, the variable largest and second largest holds the element values, display those two values. See out. Largest is variable largest. Largest is variable largest. Then second largest is variable SL. Then get CH, close the main program. Okay, it is a simple program to find first largest and second largest among n numbers. I repeat the program. First we declare a array, number of elements, index value, largest element and second largest. These are the variables declared under local variable declaration section. After that we read the number of elements. Also we read the array elements. There is a difference. Number of elements are different, array elements are different. First read how many elements you want. Based on the number we have to read the array elements. We have to read the numbers. Then using that number we conclude that out of first two numbers which one is the largest and which one is the second largest. After that we have to access the third element to n minus 1 element one by one. Then those array elements are compared with the largest element. If it is true, we have to modify the second largest, and for the largest we have to assign the new element. If it is false, we compare the new element is greater than the second largest. If it is true, directly modify the second largest, then finally display largest number and second largest number. That is the program. Let us consider a program, that is program to search a location of a given element using linear search. In a linear search, we have to find the element, given element, if it is present in an array or not. Let us see the example. Again consider a array A have n number of elements. Let index values are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. There is a 5 elements in an array. Then elements are 10, 20, 15, 5, 18. So these are the elements. Here elements are the variables. These are the elements in an array. All elements share the same name and same data type. Here this statement is search a location of a given element. After reading the n number of elements, also we read element that to be searched in an array. For example, here it is 5. We have to find the location of given element. First we have to find whether the element is present or not. If it is present, we have to return the location of the element. To find the location of an element, we use the technique that is called linear search. It is a technique to find the element whether it is present or not. What is linear search? Say linear search are also called sequential search. In a linear search, we have to access one by one element from the array. Then each elements are compared with the searching element. First we have to compare 10 with 5. Element is not equal. Then we have to access next element and compare with the searching element. Element is not present, not equal. next element is compared with the searching element. Here also element is not present. Then we have to access the next element and compare with the searching element. The element is matched. So that is the linear search. We have to access each element. Then those elements are compared with the searching element. EL is a searching element. If it is success, we say element is present and at the same time return the index value. If it is not present, access the next element, then that element is compared with the searching element. If it is present, return the index value. Otherwise, access the next element, compare with the searching element. So on. Like this, we have to access each element from the array and compare with the searching element. That is the technique linear search. If the element is accessed, all the elements are accessed from the array. If any one is not matched with the searching element, then we say element is not present. If the element is matched, then we have to return the location. That is our problem statement. We have to return a location of the given element in an array. So here what we done? First we read the array elements. After reading the array elements, also we read the searching element. After reading the searching element, we have to access each element from the array from 0 to n minus 1. Then each elements are compared with the searching element. How to compare? See the logic. If A of I represents the array element, then E is equal to searching element. ELE is a searching element. Array element is equal to searching element, then the element is present. Otherwise, again we have to access the next element. How to access? Using a for loop. I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus. First it accesses the first element, I is incremented, access the next element, I is incremented, access the third element, I is incremented, access the fourth element, and so on. Every time we access the element. If it is found, return the index value. Here P is a position, it stores the index value. Index value itself is a location of the element. Then at the same time you have to break the iteration. We know the working principle of break. What is the purpose of break? Break is an unconditional control statement. It stops the iteration. For example, here the element is present in the position 3. Not necessary to access the next element. Already element is present. Not necessary to access the next element. Hence, if the element is matched, element is found, note down the index value, stop the iteration. To stop the iteration, insert a unconditional control statement, that is break. Then finally print the position. Initially we know that element is not present. Initially P is initialized with 1. If the element is present, the value of the P is greater than minus 1 because index values are start from 0. Using this, if P value is greater than or equal to 0, we have to conclude that the element is present or not. If this condition is true, element is present and print the location. If this condition is false, the P value is minus 1. If it is negative, there is no element in the array. So it is a linear search technique. So linear search technique is a most efficient technique. Why it is? Because we have to access all the elements from 0 to n minus 1. Each elements are compared with the searching elements. There is no alternative. So linear search technique is a most efficient technique. Let's write a program for the linear search. First write the include statement. Declare a array integer of a of 20, then along with array declare index value n, number of elements and also declare position to be noted, then element ELE. So these are the variables required. Array I represents the index value, n represents the number of elements, POS stores the position of the element, ELE stores the searching element. These are the variables. Then CLR, SCR to clear a screen. First read the number of elements. How many elements? How many elements? Then Cin extraction n. Based on n value, read the array elements. So C out, enter array elements. To read the array elements, use the for loop. For I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Then Cin extraction array of I value. Array of I value. After that, initialize position which is equal to -1. What is the meaning of position equals -1? The searching element is not present. Then read the searching element. Enter a searching element. So Cin, the variable name is ELE. Okay, after reading that, either we write initialize the position here or after the reading the searching element. After reading the searching element and initialization of position, we have to access all the elements of an array. To access all the elements, for I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus. This is the for loop to access array elements. Inside that, compare if a of I value is equal to searching element. The variable name is ELE, searching element. If it is equal, modify our assumption, position equals I, insert break. This is the main logic for linear search. What we done? Access the array elements one by one, then each elements are compared with the searching element. If it is successful, see the operator, equality operator. If it is successful, note down the index value because element is present, not necessary to increase the next iteration. So insert a break. When for loop terminates, conclude that if position is greater than or equal to 0, what is the initial value of position? Here it is -1. If it is greater than 0, when it is become greater than 0, if the element is present, then it become greater than or equal to 0, then the element is present. So output searching element is found at, just print the position, POS, found at position. Else output searching element is not found. Searching element is not found. Then CH, close the main program. It is a linear search, then it is a lab program. Mark it as lab program. Previous one also lab program. That is second largest and largest program is also lab program. This is also lab program. In this session, we discuss 3 lab programs. The first one is find the sum and average of n numbers. Second lab program is find the second largest and largest among n numbers, then linear search program. In the next video, we discuss sorting program and two-dimensional array. Thank you.